You gotta lick the outside.
I got you.
Sticks.
And that stickiness, that's just for me doing that little bit of thing you did with that. This stuff is so freaking ridiculously sticky. Then you lick the inside?
Ain't that what I'm supposed to do?
No, you lick the outside.
Oh.
There you go. Just like Michelle. Just stick that thing in there. Like
it's not Michelle. It's people from my era. Everybody used to do that.
You got some leaf on your fucking face.
Every
side of the head.
That's what everybody used to do. Everybody used to do that back in the day. Everybody, you do that, and then everybody go, hello.
Oh, wow.
And then let it dry, and then lay it.
Only person I seen do it is Michelle, and I saw that bitch do it.
Well, she's old school, too.
Whoop, look at the goddamn fucking finger.
If you watch Cheech and Chong movies, they do it in their movies.
I never noticed. I wasn't paying attention.
You probably didn't.
Yeah, you're laughing so much that...
Man. You gotta believe this. Usually when I drive over here, I see at least 50 or 60 people walking up and down the street and stuff, right? On the way over here, I saw 2 people.
Really?
There's
See
nobody.
that many people?
There's nobody walking up and down the street. Maybe the police are telling people to get off the street. That's what I'm thinking.
No, it's just you have no reason to go anywhere. You can't go anywhere. Most people can't go to work.
Yeah, but if I live on this street, I might want to walk over and visit my friend over here on this street.
But you're not supposed to.
Wow, that's deep. I've never seen anything like this.
Like a couple of my friends are completely cut off. Like Bruce up in, he's cut his family cut off from everyone else right now.
May I see your lighter, please? Thank you, sir.
So that's.
Well, Lou went and got a tent. Or they're trimming at Lou's again.
I know.
But Lou went and got a tent, so I told him, if you have people coming in and out, I'm going to be in the tent trimming. You know, I don't want to come in contact with them.
Stop. Like, I feel like it's going to be basically come in, pick up what you need, get the fuck out.
Yeah, keep moving.
Yeah.
And that's not being rude, that's just being careful.
For the moment. I don't smoke with anybody. I've cut off, I'll smoke with just her. Me and my wife will smoke together.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, that way I don't have to worry about
where it came from,
and
all that kind of crap.
kind of conserve weed forever, not smoking separately.
Yep.
Which I only do because I don't want to get sick. I started doing that when Josh, then Cut, then Steve got sick. I was like, I'm done with the chain.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
It don't taste bad.
Not bad for cut down at 40 days.
Now, as long as it doesn't give me a headache, it's okay.
It won't give you a headache.
Okay.
I've been smoking it.
Oh, okay.
It's not going to get you high either.
Oh.
I don't think there's any THC in it.
Maybe there's a lot of CBD in it.
Maybe. Or THCA. Who knows? But yeah, it's, you've never seen any shit like this, huh?
No, man. About as close as you can come to this is when they had the riots and they had everybody off the street.
And that was just in Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or in California, wherever the riot was.
Wherever the riots were.
Yeah. You know, there's a few other cities had riots too. Detroit, California. I think it was a little bit in New York, maybe Texas.
Yeah, the 60s, there was a lot of riots. I heard someone talking about that too, like.
And they were riots. You know, a lot of people say they were race riots. They weren't race riots. They were just regular riots.
You ever heard?
Wasn't nobody out killing other people. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, well, I think a lot of people thought when they mean by race riots, it's a racist way to think of them in a sense that we weren't involved. Does that make sense?
Yeah, in a way it
was
doesn't.
Only black people.
But it wasn't.
I know it wasn't.
I saw as many white guys with televisions on their shoulders.
Yeah, I know. There's poor white people too, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Did you not hear? You know Sublime? You know that song they made?
Yeah.
1984 or whatever. 1996 or whatever. There was a date. I can't remember the actual date, but yeah, there was a riots on the streets this afternoon.
And David Bowie, was it David Bowie? Made that movie, Panic in Detroit?
Never saw it.
No, it's a song. I'm sorry, it's not a movie.
Oh.
He had a song called Panic in Detroit.
Really? I mean, you were here, so was it scary?
No, yeah. You know what the scary part was? The police and the National Guard. Wasn't the people.
Yeah, the people.
People weren't afraid of each other.
That's what's going to be scary if they actually have to come to that level. Like, if they didn't, which obviously they didn't get ahead of it in time, but if by chance we get lucky and we flatten the curve and we're fine, we won't see them. But if the curve isn't flattened and we get fucked, we're gonna see them knock us down on a level that Americans have never in our lifetimes ever dealt with.
Ever dealt with.
I mean, World War II wasn't even as locked down.
Because this is a silent killer.
This is.
There's nobody you can get out and fight it. You can't fight it like
They're trying to.
But I mean, as an aspect of a person or.
I know, but they're trying to.
Yeah.
They're trying to put blame on other people.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that's going to happen. It doesn't matter. It could happen here. That's what people don't understand. There's viruses that are grown here. You could eat a pig that accidentally eats something that's not supposed to eat.
Oh, yeah. You can get all kinds of...
You know?
Yeah, it's all kinds of crap.
The way we fucking...
Call it trichomonas or something.
Our fucking food supply is so commercialized and...
So chemicalized.
Yeah, that we're killing our fucking... Any chances of beating most bacteria anyway.
The thing that I wonder is, will this change America? Because, I'm disappointed in America.
What
in
did
these last...
You know what I want to know?
Few years.
Okay, you were born in what year?
1948, right after the World War.
So 48, so right before my dad. So you didn't go to Vietnam because of...
They told me I had flat feet.
Flat feet, yep. So you could have been drafted. What did you think, like, because I'm a kid of the 90s. There was no war. There's no draft. There's no, like, it's like a complete time of peace, I guess you would say. So, in my mind, I thought the world was heading towards more... I really thought the world was on the trajectory towards Star Trek. It didn't, you know what I'm saying? Nothing had happened yet. 9/11 hadn't happened yet. So all that, it was a world where everything was on the up. Nothing was crashing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why guns, like, the emergence of guns back into society blew my fucking wig back. Because it's like, I thought we were trying to develop a world where you didn't need them. Where you felt safe enough that you could not have to have a gun in your house.
See, I knew that was all, from the time I was young to even now, I knew that was going to be bullshit because I looked at society itself. The biggest shows on TV back then were what they call shoot 'em ups, cowboy westerns, where people were shooting guns all the time, or they were like untouchables. It was like gangster movies with machine guns and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I knew our society was so planted in guns, and the way this country was founded, it was all about the guns.
I know, but the guns is irrelevant. I'm talking about the gun. That is a fantasy. Like, that just, in my mind, it just felt like we were heading towards a time of peace instead of now, because the 90s, by the end of the 90s, I'm 18, 19 years old, 20 years old, and it's like it's kind of hit us a little bit in this area because, a lot of the jobs that I could have got when I was that age aren't there anymore. Things are changing in Flint and Grand Blanc and all the areas where I could get work. All that shit's leaving. The kind of work that,
mm-hmm.
anybody could just do.
For everyday people.
Mm-hmm. But it still felt like on a world level, we were trying, like, the end of the Cold War had happened in my lifetime.
Yeah, you were being naive.
It's not. It's my mom, I think, is more than anything else. I think my mom ingested
that into you,
peace into me, like, more than anything.
Which a parent should do, I think. Should try to make the next generation more peaceful.
That's what I thought, but it doesn't seem like we're trying to do that anymore. It seems like everybody's so mad because this new generation is like, we don't want to fight these fucking wars. We don't want to hate the other person just because you told us to. Oh, you're a pussy.
Right. That's the military industrial complex combined with the NRA.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Let me tell you something. Back in the old days, back in the 30s, at the end of every movie, they'd show an NRA sticker on the screen.
Really?
Yeah. you know, and to me, as being a black person,
who doesn't really feel like you can own guns.
No, back when I was coming up, everybody didn't go for a gun so much.
No, that's one. Well, I get that.
Guns weren't that big back then. I mean, don't get me wrong. People had guns. They have a little 38. They hide in their drawer in case somebody broke in their house.
Do you feel like you could have owned all the guns? Like my grandfather owned like 50 guns. You know what I'm saying? He was a collector of guns.
Ain't no fucking way. Back in those days?
Yeah.
No. If they got wind that a black person had bought more than 2 or 3 guns, they'd be on them.
That's crazy.
Well, what do you have those guns for? And they searched their house and they found guns like that. Oh, you're what would they call them?
Revolutionary.
Yes.
You're a fucking anarchist or...
You're a Black Panther. They were so afraid of the Black Panthers. Oh,
and I heard the Black Panther were actually, like... There's 2 different stories you hear in this world about the Black Panther.
And what is that?
Well, you have the one story is they were a militant group that would use force to get what they wanted. And then there was other stories that I think I heard from you where they were not a militant group, but they were more of a protectorate.
Yes.
Like a...
They protected their neighborhood and their society.
Yes.
And that's...
The cops didn't do it.
And when they would show up at first, the police would show up and the police would be armed to the teeth, had these dogs that they would stick on you, you know. Mm-hmm. So one day, and it blew my mind, one day I was going by the Black Panther. They had a couple of little storefronts here and there. One day I was going by one of their places, and they were standing outside holding guns, rifles. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? The police are gonna fuck with them for that, I'm sure. But, you know, they were just doing their rights. You know, you have the right to bear arms.
Yeah.
And all that crap. So they use the white man's law, kind of.
To try to...
In their favor.
Yes.
Yeah. But basically, all they weren't trying to have no war. They weren't trying... I mean, they talked a lot of shit, don't get me wrong. But they weren't trying... They knew that they couldn't have a war with the United States. They wouldn't win. How could they win? Back then, what, black people might have been 9% maybe of the population? Maybe.
Even then, a good percentage of them are in the army already.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because, you know what would happen? If you were like a little bad boy and you didn't act right, they would tell you either you go to jail or you go to the army.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a way to not have to... When did the draft stop?
I can't be really sure. I would say right after the Vietnam War.
Because I know
I don't know the exact date, though.
I know. It's not going to get you high here.
Oh.
You got to taste it. Now,
Got you.
Let's get high.
Got you.
I know that it ain't going to get you high. I smoked it before. It tastes all right.
Yeah, it does taste all right.
But, again...
It didn't taste bad at all.
I tried to make it in the fucking rosin and it didn't turn out.
Considering it never been put in... Oh, now, I need... No, we'll talk about this another time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so... Yeah, the National Guard would be scary. Not scary.
Okay, when they assassinated Martin Luther King, I lived on Linwood and Taylor, which is like right in the middle of black land, so to speak. You know, there's a few
Where's
white people.
Linwood and Taylor?
Huh?
I don't know Linwood.
Linwood and Dexter are two main streets that go this way.
Like, go east and west?
They go east and west.
So Linwood would cross Livernois at some point?
No, because it turns. So
Okay.
it never crosses Livernois. Wait, hold on. Yes, you're right. It does cross Livernois, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that on the east side or west side of Livernois?
That would be called the near west side.
So technically it doesn't cross Woodward. Linwood.
Let me think about it for a minute. No, it changes its name.
Okay.
So it doesn't cross as Linwood.
Oh, so it's the west side of Detroit.
Okay, so I lived in this apartment building. I lived on like the 4th or 5th floor. And I went to work. I was working at Ford Motor Company. And I had to catch the bus to work and back. While I was at work, the riots broke out, the Martin Luther King type riots, not the ones on Twisted Street.
When did he get murdered?
Oh, God.
It was in the 60s. It was before 68, wasn't it?
67?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't, was it?
67?
Because it was after Kennedy, for sure.
Kennedy was in 63.
Yeah.
So it was between 63 and 67.
Okay.
And so I get off the bus. Well, when the bus is I saw all these National Guards. I saw tanks going up and down the street. Guys with Jeeps with machine guns on the back of them. I'm like, what the fuck? Then I saw like smoke and shit. Shit was on fire. Get to my apartment building. I jump off the bus, walk around the corner, get ready to go to my apartment building, and the National Guard standing there with guns pointed at me. I said, I live there. I don't care if you live here. You can't go in the building. I said, where am I supposed to go? I don't care, but get the fuck out of here. N-word. N-word. So, you know, I snuck around the corner, climbed up the side of a building, climbed on the other side of a building, and got into my building. I knew the whole neighborhood, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I snuck in and got to my apartment. But then we were on lockdown. You weren't supposed to leave your apartment.
For how long?
It was only a couple of days. But I saw martial law at its activated. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no way any. That's why people tell me, "Oh man, white people are gonna revolt and they're gonna start a civil war." No, they're not. They're gonna put that revolt down so fast it's gonna make your head spin. No, they're not.
Yeah, no.
Plus, all these, what do they call it? Posse comitatus. You know what it is? That's guys that, you know, like the Michigan militia.
Yeah.
That's what those guys are.
Okay.
They're supposed to, because in our Constitution, in the Constitution, in one of our records, it says that the citizens of America, if the president and them not acting right, we have the right to bear arms and overthrow them.
Yeah, the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
And so the Second Amendment is there supposed to be to protect your rights.
Mm-hmm. And they call that posse comitatus, is what it's called. That means the citizenship has been posseed.
Yeah, but I mean, fine, but I don't trust them. I don't trust either.
No, I don't either, because they're just another group of radicals.
Yeah, that want to fucking control shit.
And they want violence.
Actually, I think a lot of them, because we've lived in a pretty long period of peace, if you think about it.
When was that? When did we live in a long period of peace?
When's the last time you've seen a riot in Detroit? When's the last time?
You mean locally?
Locally, we've had no real violence.
Right.
There's not been any real...
Right. Other than
there's no school shootings. None of that shit happens here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We've been in a pretty...
there's been a couple of little massacres here and there, but...
Not in here.
Oh, you mean in Michigan?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I see
in
what you're
Michigan.
saying. You mean our area?
Because think about it. Michigan's got its own militia. Everyone knows they have their own militia. I don't...
You know, Michigan is a different state. Michigan is different from most of the places I've ever lived before. Because Michigan appears to be so nice and so a place where you want to go and live. And it is, but there's a lot of racism. Once you get outside of Detroit and Flint, it's, man.
Well, I grew up in it. It's
and it's unfounded racism. And it's
no idea.
It's not so much the people as it is the politicians have made it that way. The politicians.
Well, I mean, this area has been very good at redlining.
Yeah.
They've been very, very good at redlining.
They've been very good at controlling the black population.
Yeah.
That's why so many people were so pissed off when we had our first black mayor.
What? When was that? Who was that? What? That was the regular mayor. What's his name? What? Coleman Young?
Yes.
Okay.
That was our first black mayor. And everybody was.
And that was what?
All the white
60s,
people were.
Right?
Huh?
80s.
Yeah. No. Yeah. 80s.
80s.
And I think he was in office for 8 or 9 years. Long time.
Mm-hmm. He was in office when I was alive.
But they hated him. The white people hated him. That's why Detroit fell on hard times, because he sat up one day and he said to the white people, if you don't like Detroit, hit the other side of 8 Mile. And that's what they did. Yeah. And the tax base in Detroit went.
Yep. And they took a lot of, like, they set it up so you couldn't get, it was hard to get into the city and hard to get out of the city.
And, well, people just didn't come across 8 Mile. They stayed on it.
Unless they were going down 75 to get to a sports team.
Or they worked in downtown Detroit or something like that.
Yeah.
As a whole, though, people weren't coming to Detroit just hanging out. White people weren't hanging out in Detroit.
Yeah.
Because it had a bad reputation. But let me tell you something. I've lived in all kinds of neighborhoods in Detroit all my life. And every neighborhood I've ever lived, there's always been that few white people that stayed in Detroit.
Yeah.
They never left. They weren't put upon. They weren't treated any different from anybody else in the neighborhood. But they made it seem like if you were white and you were in Detroit, you'd get raped and killed.
Or you're
I just heard on the radio. I was listening to a sports channel the day before yesterday. And they were talking about going downtown to games and stuff. And the guy was talking about, I don't feel safe going down there to games. And talking about, no, man, I go down, but I get right in my car and I get the hell out of there. You know. And a lot of people were calling in felt that way.
I guess.
And then a black dude called in and said, last time I checked, how many people got killed going to a baseball or a football or any sport in downtown Detroit? When did that happen?
Never.
He says, but people make you think, dude, people getting killed all the time down there.
Oh, yeah, I know people that won't go past 16. I have, because, I play disc golf north
of
16.
People,
and they will not, their life is above 16. There's no reason to be below it.
I know people that live below 16 that haven't been in downtown Detroit in years.
Yeah.
In years.
Yeah. But I know a lot. You know what's crazy, though, to me, is a lot of, because, I deal with, not, that's a dumb way to start a sentence. Because you obviously do not know this.
You caught yourself up.
Yeah. But some of the people a lot of people I've dealt with in my life have been older people, because it's just how it works.
Yeah.
And it seems to me like probably about 70% of them grew up in Detroit. And they're all white.
Yeah.
And it just blows your wig back. You're like, wait, what? Wait, I know you. We have to say, like, because my generation, for one, I grew up in Holly, so that doesn't help. I'm already, Holly's
away from,
it's 45 minutes to an hour away from downtown Detroit. It's actually an hour from downtown Detroit. So I'm already way away from the whole situation. So it's anything, to me, when I was young, anything that was city was scary.
Yeah.
Because Flint, I didn't go into the city. I've never been in Flint City. I don't have a reason to go there. I go to the fucking mall. The mall is over here.
Yeah.
City's over here. Same, and it's a very small city too.
Yeah.
In comparison,
it's not that big.
No, in comparison to like Detroit or Southfield or any city.
That's why it was so unbelievable that at one time Flint was the most dangerous city in the United States.
Because they had no cops.
But it's so small.
No. The city itself is small because it's stuck in the fucking 60s.
Yeah.
But the area that is Flint is not.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of suburbs.
Right.
What I mean is the city itself.
Right.
Yeah, you go
city
into
limits.
Little down. No, like the downtown. The city limits is still a nice, big, decent-sized city limits. And when you're up there, it feels like you're in the fucking 50s and 60s. It's just nothing's changed. Like, there's been no real growth. Yeah. People just go into buildings and stay, like, they don't fix anything. They fix stuff, but there's a lot of empty shit. There's a lot of empty lots. You know what I'm saying? Houses have not been torn down and rebuilt, so they're the fucking 40s and 50s houses that were built by the auto industry that was there. It's the middle class. Like, you can go up there and kind of see what the middle class lived like in the 50s.
At one time.
Yeah. Like, it's unbelievable. It's still kind of the same. Like, it's Pontiac's the same too. There's parts of Pontiac where you're in and you're just like,
all those little cities are like Pontiac, Mount Clemens. When you go to them,
that's another one.
They're all yeah.
That's another one that's just like,
yeah,
damn. Like, this whole area. What's a nice spit? This whole Corona, baby. This whole area was at one point going to just like the cities that it could have been. You know,
and I guess that's because the auto industry just folded up.
It didn't fold up; it left.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it didn't fold up. It consolidated and left. Because the auto industry in the 40s and 50s, there was more than one truck. Like, now you have what? 3 choices in America. You have multiple choices from somewhere else.
Yeah, multiple, way more choices.
But I'm just saying, you have like 3 choices from America now. It used to be you had like 40. Jeep was its own. Everything was its own brand. Every single fucking brand you see was its own brand. But GM and Ford and all that.
GM had a bunch of brands.
Gobble them up.
At one time, I'm what GM had.
They still do.
They had Buick, Pontiac, Chevrolet, Oldsmobile.
Yeah, but again, those
and Cadillac 5.
But again, those Cadillac was its luxury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were all under the same umbrella.
Chevy
was like the cheapest of all
right.
of them.
But I'm just saying, they used to be their own companies.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, at one time.
Yes.
Right.
Pontiac was actually a Pontiac car company.
Yeah, they all consolidated. Yeah.
Somebody bought them GM.
up. Yeah, they bought them up.
Same with Ford. Ford bought a couple of them too. Fiat's now, it's just, we have...
I think Fiat's Chrysler now. Yeah.
I think, you know what this is going to show us? That as worldwidely as we want to be, it's going to be more, like, people... I think people are going to start investing more money into bringing shit back here so that because again, this is, every expert that I've heard talk, all they keep saying is, this is nothing. What we're feeling right now is nothing in comparison to what it could be. And this is a dress rehearsal that we're failing. If it was an actual disease that killed 80, say it killed 12% of the population unaffected, or 20. We couldn't.
Yeah.
Because you only lose 20% of that population. You lose the other percent of the population that now is infected or is delayed or anything that happened because of it.
Yep. It's a dominoes effect.
We're just not prepared, and hopefully, I mean, I don't think it's going to, because as humans, I don't know why.
We persevere.
We do persevere, but we feel like we have to persevere alone. That's what this country feels like. It's like if you make it, you make it. Fuck it. We'll give you a little bit of money and hope that you make it, because,
the reality of it is you are alone.
No, the reality of it is we used to live in a country or a world where things were fucking hard to get. And now we live in a world where toilet paper is about to replenish the shelves and make the fucking hoarders look like idiots.
That toilet paper thing is so funny.
They've got so much toilet paper in them fucking warehouses. Like, people are like, oh, we're going to run it. No. We're not running out of toilet paper.
Again, they call them sheeple, not people.
Oh, whatever.
One guy spreads a rumor, whether it's true or not, to another guy, and then he spreads to 3 other guys, and the next thing you know...
I guess that's the most dangerous thing is...
It is, gossip.
Information is... It's one of those things, it's just like a virus, you can't...
But information is different from gossip. Gossip is a form of information.
Yeah.
But it's...
Not true information.
Right, it's not steeped in any reality in reality.
The Fairness Act, that's what changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
If the Fairness Act doesn't get overturned... If somehow Reagan doesn't get the evangelical fucking retards on his side in 80 and Carter wins, we live in a completely different country.
Yep.
Whether it's better or worse, I don't know.
See, Carter was too nice.
Mm-hmm.
He was such a nice person that people that believed in war and the American way, they didn't like him. They did everything they could
to get him out. I know.
To get him out.
Warhawks.
Yeah.
He was anti-military establishment. We know that. And anybody who's against that is going
so
to
I guess
not be in.
Reagan and Trump and Bush, they've added more stuff to the military than anybody else, I guess, huh?
Oh yeah, every time. But fucking Obama didn't shrink it.
No, but he didn't increase. Well,
he increased it. He just didn't increase it on the level they did.
See, a lot of people don't understand certain things. Obama was under a lot of pressure. A lot of presidents were never under.
No, I get that.
You know what I mean? And I mean, from the time from the first, what happened when he went to take his oath? What happened? This never happened before in the whole history of the United States. A guy in the audience screamed out while he was talking, "Liar!"
No, that was during his speech.
No.
Yes, it was.
No, it was during. He was addressing the House.
Yeah, it was during the fucking State of the Union.
Yes.
The State of the Union. He was giving the State of the Union, and he said something about something, and one of the Republican Tea Party
screamed out, "Liar!"
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So he was disrespected from day one.
I didn't think he'd make it through the first 4 years.
Yeah, most black people didn't either.
I was of the belief that, like, elect him, cool. I
you
hope
know the
he
first
gets
thing,
in, but
as a black person, when I heard about him, and most black people said the same thing, who the fuck is that?
I think everyone said that.
Nobody knew who the fuck he was.
I didn't know who he was either.
If you wasn't a Harvard or Yale type person, you didn't know who the fuck he was.
He was a Harvard.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They knew who he was.
Oh, yeah, because he was in
Yeah. They knew who the fuck he was.
Yeah, if you were smart.
And the name really threw me off. First time I heard his name, I was like, what the? Sounds like one of them terrorist dudes.
I remember talking to my brother one time. This was years ago. And we were... Alright, I guess I'm finishing this one. We were, I was talking about how, like, one of the reasons why our government sucks is because if you're fucking smart, you're probably not going to be in government. 2 reasons. One, you're probably an atheist. Because it's like 97% of the top scientists in our country are atheists.
Or agnostic.
Or agnostic. So 3% of the fucking... So that's one of the things. You can't be atheist. You can't be an atheist and run for office. You'll never get in. There's not one person in Congress right now that identifies as an atheist. Every single one of them identifies with one of them stupid fucking religions.
We won't call them stupid religions, but religions.
Okay.
Even if it is.
Okay, you're right. Call it what it is. It's just a religion.
Yeah.
So, oh my goodness, I gotta tell you. Remind me to tell you what I heard today about.
Tell me.
All right, because I already forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah, tell me.
So I'm talking to, we'll call him C. I'm talking to C.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And he starts telling me, he goes...
I know who C is.
Yes.
Yes.
So, he goes, first off, he's of the belief that this whole thing's fake. It's all done up. And now, but it's not fake in a sense that it's not really, it's not happening, but it's fake in a different reason.
Okay.
And it's not happening, and the reason why everyone, like, it's Trump using it as a way to get rid of a underground rich person network that steals children.